Hello there. You're exhausted, aren't you? Exhausted from trying to fix everything, to solve every problem, to have all the answers, to be responsible for everything, to make everything okay. Right now, immediately, all at once. You look at your life and see so many things that need fixing. Things that aren't working, problems that need solving, issues that need addressing, areas where you're falling short. And you feel this crushing pressure to fix it all. Now, today, immediately. And when you can't, when you don't have all the answers, when problems persist despite your efforts, when things don't change as fast as you want them to, you feel like you're failing, like you're not doing enough, like you're responsible for everything that's not perfect. That pressure, that weight, that sense of overwhelming responsibility for fixing everything, it's crushing you. Because you can't fix everything. Not all at once, not immediately, not by yourself. But you keep trying, keep pushing, keep taking on the weight of solving every problem and fixing every issue and making everything okay. And you're collapsing under that weight. Because it's too much. Because you're one person. Because some things take time. Because some problems don't have immediate solutions. Because growth is a process, not an event. Because healing is gradual, not instant. Because change is slow, not sudden. Take a breath with me. Just one breath. And as you exhale, imagine setting down some of that pressure, some of that weight, some of that responsibility for fixing everything immediately. Let your shoulders drop. Let your body soften. Let yourself feel how heavy that burden has been. Tonight, we're going to talk about something essential. About being patient with your process. About giving yourself time to grow. About releasing the pressure to fix everything right now. About understanding that you're not responsible for having all the answers and solving all the problems immediately. Because here's the truth. You don't have to fix everything right now. You don't have to have all the answers today. You don't have to solve every problem immediately. You don't have to be responsible for making everything okay all at once. Growth takes time. Healing is gradual. Change is slow. Learning is a process. Development is incremental. And you're in that process. You're growing. You're healing. You're changing. You're learning. You're developing. But it takes time. As much time as it takes. And that's okay. That's normal. That's how growth actually works. Not instant transformation, not immediate solutions, not overnight change, but gradual, incremental, patient process. Step by step, day by day, little by little. So tonight, let's work on patience with yourself, with your process, with your timeline, with your growth. Let's release the pressure to fix everything immediately. Let's give yourself permission to be in process, to be growing, to be taking time, Because you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be fully healed. You don't have to be completely changed. You don't have to be perfectly developed. You're allowed to be in process, to be growing, to be taking the time you need. You're not failing by not being finished. You're not falling behind by taking time. You're not doing it wrong by being in process. You're just growing at your own pace, in your own way, on your own timeline. And that's perfectly okay. You know why you feel this crushing pressure to fix everything right now? Because you've taken on responsibility for things that aren't actually your responsibility. Because you've made yourself responsible for solving problems that aren't yours to solve. Because you've accepted the weight of fixing everything as if it all depends on you. But it doesn't. Not everything is your responsibility. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every issue is yours to fix. Some things are other people's responsibility. Some things are beyond your control. Some things just take time, regardless of what you do. But you've been trying to control it all, fix it all, solve it all, make it all okay, as if you're responsible for everything, as if everything depends on you, as if you're the only one who can make things better. And that's an impossible burden. That's setting yourself up for constant failure. That's creating crushing pressure that no human could sustain. Because you can't control everything. You can't fix everything. You can't solve everything. You're one person with limited capacity, limited energy, limited control. So you need boundaries around responsibility. You need to distinguish between what's actually yours to fix and what isn't. What's actually in your control and what isn't. What you can actually do something about and what you can't. Your growth, that's your responsibility. Your healing, that's your responsibility. Your choices, your responsibility. Your responses, your responsibility. Your development, your responsibility. But other people's growth, not your responsibility. Other people's healing, not your responsibility. Other people's choices, not your responsibility. Circumstances beyond your control, not your responsibility. Problems that existed before you and will exist after you, not your responsibility. You're responsible for your part, your piece, your choices, your responses, your growth. That's it. That's enough. That's all you can actually control anyway. But you've been trying to be responsible for everything. For other people's feelings, for other people's problems, for circumstances you can't control, for outcomes you can't guarantee, for systems that are bigger than you, for problems that aren't yours to solve. And that's why you're exhausted. That's why you feel like you're failing. That's why nothing ever feels finished or fixed or okay. Because you're trying to be responsible for things that aren't actually your responsibility. Things you can't actually control. Things you can't actually fix, no matter how hard you try. So you need to release false responsibility. Let go of trying to fix what isn't yours to fix. Stop making yourself responsible for things beyond your control. Stop trying to solve problems that aren't yours to solve. Focus on your part, your piece, your responsibility, your growth, your healing, your choices, your responses. That's what you can actually control. That's what you're actually responsible for. That's what actually depends on you. And even that, even your actual responsibilities, they don't all need to be addressed right now. They don't all need to be fixed immediately. They don't all need solutions today. You can work on them gradually, prioritize them, address them step by step, over time. You don't have to fix everything, not even everything that actually is your responsibility. You just have to take steps, make progress, move forward, gradually, patiently, at a sustainable pace. So stop taking on responsibility for everything. Stop trying to fix what isn't yours to fix. Stop exhausting yourself trying to control what you can't control. Focus on your part, your actual responsibility, your actual peace, and work on that gradually, patiently, without pressure to fix it all immediately. That's sustainable. That's realistic. That's actually possible. Not fixing everything right now, but working on your part, gradually, over time. That you can do. That's enough. That's all that's actually required. Let's talk about perfectionism, about the belief that you need to be perfect, that you need to have it all figured out, that you need to be completely healed and fully developed and entirely changed before you're acceptable, before you're good enough, before you're allowed to stop trying so hard to fix everything. That's what's driving this pressure, this need to fix everything immediately, this feeling of constant inadequacy, this sense that you're never doing enough. Perfectionism, the belief that anything less than perfect is failing, that being in process is being insufficient, that growing means you're not yet good enough. But perfectionism is impossible. It's an unattainable standard. It's setting yourself up for constant failure, because perfect doesn't exist. Complete doesn't happen. Fully healed is an ongoing process, not a destination. Entirely developed is impossible, because humans continue developing until they die. So waiting until you're perfect to feel okay about yourself, that's waiting forever. That's guaranteeing you'll never feel good enough. That's ensuring constant pressure and perpetual inadequacy. You need to accept imperfection. Accept being in process. Accept that you're growing, which means you're not yet grown. Accept that you're healing, which means you're not yet healed. Accept that you're learning, which means you don't yet know everything. And that's okay. That's not failing. That's being human. That's being in the middle of growth. That's normal. That's expected. That's exactly where you should be. You don't have to be perfect to be acceptable. You don't have to be finished to be good enough. You don't have to be completely healed to be worthy. You don't have to have it all figured out to be valid. You're acceptable as you are, right now, in process, imperfect, still growing, still healing, still learning. You're acceptable. You're good enough. You're worthy. Right now, exactly as you are. Even while still developing. Perfectionism says, you're not good enough until everything is fixed. But the truth is, you're good enough while you're working on things. You're acceptable while you're in process. You're worthy while you're still growing. Process doesn't equal inadequacy. Growth doesn't equal insufficiency. Being unfinished doesn't equal being not good enough. You're in process, and you're acceptable. Both are true, simultaneously. So release perfectionism. Release the need to be completely fixed before you're good enough. Release the pressure to be perfect before you're acceptable. You're good enough now, in process, imperfect, still growing, good enough. And here's what that release creates. Permission to be in process. Permission to grow gradually. Permission to take time. Permission to not have all the answers. Permission to be imperfect. Permission to be human. That permission releases pressure, creates space, allows patience, makes sustainable growth possible. Because you're not trying to be perfect immediately. You're just trying to grow gradually. And gradual growth is actually possible. Immediate perfection is not. So choose acceptance over perfectionism. Choose process over finished product. Choose gradual growth over immediate perfection. Choose patience with yourself over pressure on yourself. You're in process. That's okay. That's good. That's human. You're growing. That's enough. You're learning. That's valuable. You're healing. That's progress. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be finished. You don't have to be completely fixed. You just have to be willing to grow, willing to learn, willing to heal at your own pace, in your own way, on your own timeline, without pressure to be perfect, without need to fix everything immediately. Just willing to be in process, patiently, gradually, sustainably. That's enough. That's good enough. You're good enough. Right now, in process, imperfect, acceptable, good enough. Now, let's talk about time, about how healing is gradual, about how change is slow, about how learning is a process, about how development is incremental. You want immediate results, instant transformation, quick fixes, overnight change. You want to address a problem today and have it solved tomorrow. Start working on something this week and see complete results next week. Begin healing and be fully healed soon after. But that's not how it works. That's not realistic. That's not how human growth and change actually happen. Growth is slow. Healing is gradual. Change is incremental. Learning is a process. Development takes time. You plant a seed today. You don't have a tree tomorrow. You water it, give it sunlight, tend to it, and eventually, over time, sometimes years, it becomes a tree. That's how growth works. Gradually, over time, with consistent care, not overnight. You break a bone, it doesn't heal in a day. It takes weeks, months sometimes, with rest and proper care and time. That's how healing works. Gradually, over time, with patience, not instantly. You start learning something new. You don't master it immediately. You practice. You make mistakes. You learn. You improve. Over time, maybe months, maybe years. That's how learning works. Gradually, through process, with patience, not overnight. Personal growth is the same. You don't fix everything immediately. You don't transform overnight. You don't heal instantly. You grow gradually. You change slowly. You heal over time. That's normal. That's realistic. That's how it actually works. So expecting immediate results is setting yourself up for disappointment, for feeling like you're failing, for frustration with the pace of change. Because immediate isn't realistic. Quick isn't how growth works. Overnight isn't possible for real, lasting change. You need realistic expectations about time, about pace, about how long things actually take, not how long you wish they took, not how long you think they should take, but how long they actually take for real, sustainable, meaningful growth and change and healing. And that's usually longer than you want, usually slower than you hope, usually more gradual than you expect. That's okay. That's normal. That's realistic. Growth takes time, as much time as it takes. So be patient with time, with pace, with gradual progress, with slow change, with incremental development. That's not failing. That's growing realistically. That's healing sustainably. That's changing in ways that actually last. Quick fixes don't last. Overnight transformations don't sustain. Instant changes don't stick. But gradual growth does. Slow healing does. Incremental change does. Because it's real. Because it's deep. Because it's built on actual process and real learning and genuine development. So stop expecting immediate results. Stop being frustrated with gradual progress. Stop feeling like slow change means you're failing. Slow is how it works. Gradual is realistic. Incremental is sustainable. Give yourself time, as much time as you need, without pressure, without timeline, without expectation of immediate results. Just patient, gradual, sustainable growth over time, as much time as it takes. You're not behind. You're not slow. You're not failing. You're growing at the pace real growth actually happens. Gradually, over time. And that's exactly right. That's exactly how it should be. Patient, gradual, sustainable, real. So be patient with time, with your pace, with gradual progress. That's not wrong. That's right. That's how real growth happens. Give yourself that time, that patience, that grace. You deserve it. You need it. It's essential for sustainable growth. Here's something important about progress, about growth, about change. It's not linear. It's not steady forward movement. It's not consistent improvement. It's messy. It's uneven. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes 1 step forward, 3 steps back. And that's normal. That's how progress actually works. Not straight line improvement, not consistent upward trajectory, but messy, uneven, back and forth movement. Overall trending forward, but with setbacks, with plateaus, with backward movement mixed in with forward progress. You'll make progress, feel good, feel like you're growing, and then you'll have a setback, a bad day, a regression, and you'll feel like you've lost all your progress, like you're back at square one, like you're failing at growth. But you're not. Setbacks are part of progress. Regression is part of growth. Bad days are part of improvement. The back and forth is normal. The unevenness is expected. The messiness is how real progress actually happens. Linear progress is fantasy. Steady improvement is unrealistic. Consistent forward movement is not how humans actually grow. Real growth is messy, uneven, back and forth, with setbacks mixed in with progress. That's normal. That's realistic. That's how it actually works. So stop judging setbacks as failure. Stop interpreting regression as losing progress. Stop feeling like bad days erase improvement. They don't. They're just part of the process. Part of messy, real, human growth. Overall, are you further than you were 6 months ago? A year ago? Even with setbacks? Even with regression? Even with bad days? If yes, you're making progress. Real, messy, uneven progress. But progress nonetheless. That's what matters. Not whether progress is linear. Not whether improvement is steady. Not whether growth is consistent. But whether overall, over time, there's movement forward. Even if it's messy. Even if it's uneven. Even if it includes setbacks. So measure progress realistically, not by linear improvement, not by steady forward movement, not by absence of setbacks, but by overall direction, overall growth, overall change, over time, with all the messiness included. Are you more aware than you were? More capable? More healed? More developed? Even with setbacks? Even with bad days? Even with regression? If yes, you're growing. Messily. Unevenly. Realistically. But growing. So be patient with messy progress, with uneven growth, with back and forth movement. That's not failing. That's growing realistically. That's how it actually works. Messy, uneven, but real. Don't expect linear. Don't demand steady. Don't require consistent. Accept messy. Accept uneven. Accept back and forth. That's realistic. That's sustainable. That's how real human growth happens. You're making progress. Even when it doesn't feel linear. Even when it's not steady. Even when setbacks happen. You're growing. Messily. Unevenly. But really. That's enough. That's good. That's realistic progress. So celebrate messy progress. Acknowledge uneven growth. Appreciate back and forth movement. It's not perfect progress. It's real progress. And real is better than perfect. Real is sustainable. Real is what actually creates lasting change. You're growing. Messily. That's okay. That's good. That's real. Be patient with messy. Accept uneven. Celebrate real progress, even when it's not perfect, especially when it's not perfect. Because real, messy progress is the only kind that lasts. Let me tell you about self-compassion during process, about being kind to yourself while you're growing, about patience with yourself while you're healing, about gentleness with yourself while you're learning. You've been harsh with yourself, critical, impatient, demanding, expecting yourself to grow faster, heal quicker, change immediately, figure it out now, fix it today. And when you don't, when progress is slower than you want, when growth is messier than you expect, you judge yourself, criticize yourself, feel like you're failing. But that harshness doesn't help. That criticism doesn't accelerate growth. That impatience doesn't speed healing. It just makes everything harder. It adds pain to difficulty. It adds shame to struggle. It makes the process worse. So you need self-compassion, kindness with yourself, patience with your pace, gentleness with your process, understanding that growth takes time, that healing is gradual, that change is slow, and being okay with that, being gentle with yourself through that. Self-compassion says, I'm growing at my own pace, and that's okay. I don't have to rush. I don't have to be faster than I am. I can take the time I need without judging myself for it. Self-compassion says, I'm doing my best, even when my best doesn't feel like enough, even when progress is slow, even when I have setbacks. I'm doing my best, and that's worthy of kindness, not criticism. Self-compassion says, I'm human, imperfect, still learning, still growing, and that's normal. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be finished. I can be in process and be gentle with myself while I am. Self-compassion says, I'm allowed to struggle, allowed to not have all the answers, allowed to take time, allowed to be in process without judging myself for it, without being harsh with myself about it. Just allowed. with kindness, with gentleness. That's self-compassion. And that's what helps growth, what supports healing, what enables sustainable change. Not harshness, not criticism, not impatience, but kindness, patience, gentleness, compassion for your own process. So practice self-compassion. When you notice self-criticism, interrupt it. Replace it with kindness. When you feel impatient with yourself, choose patience. When you're being harsh, choose gentleness. Actively practice compassion for yourself, for your pace, for your process, for your messy, uneven, gradual growth. That's not being soft on yourself. That's being realistic. That's being sustainable. That's being supportive of actual growth, because growth happens better with support than with criticism. Healing happens faster with kindness than with harshness. Change sticks better with patience than with pressure. So be compassionate with yourself, kind to yourself, patient with yourself, gentle with yourself. While you're growing, while you're healing, while you're changing, while you're in process. That's what helps. That's what supports. That's what enables real, sustainable, lasting growth. You're doing your best. You're growing at your pace. You're healing in your way. You're changing on your timeline. And all of that deserves compassion, kindness, patience, gentleness. From others, yes, but most importantly, from yourself. So give yourself that. Compassion for your process, kindness for your pace, patience for your growth, gentleness for your humanity. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's supporting yourself through the difficult work of growth and change and healing. Give yourself that support, that compassion. You deserve it. You need it. It's essential. Let me tell you what becomes possible when you're patient with your process, when you give yourself time to grow, when you release the pressure to fix everything immediately, when you accept that you're in process and that's okay. You actually grow. Real growth, sustainable growth, deep growth. Because you're not rushing, not forcing, not pressuring, just allowing growth to happen naturally, at its own pace, in its own way. And that creates real, lasting change. Not quick fixes that don't stick, but real transformation that endures. You reduce exhaustion because you're not constantly pushing, not always pressuring yourself, not perpetually trying to do more, fix more, change more. You can rest. You can pace yourself. You can work at sustainable speeds. That reduces exhaustion, creates energy, makes the whole process more bearable. You make better decisions because you're not rushing, not pressuring yourself to have immediate answers. You can take time, gather information, reflect, think things through, and that leads to better decisions, wiser choices, more thoughtful responses. Rush creates poor decisions. Patience creates wisdom. You experience less shame because you're not constantly falling short of impossible standards, not always failing to fix everything immediately, not perpetually not being good enough. You're accepting that you're in process, and process is okay. That acceptance releases shame, creates peace, allows self-compassion. You build self-trust because you're showing yourself you're patient with yourself. You're on your own side. You're not pressuring yourself unrealistically. You're being a good steward of your own growth. That builds trust in yourself, in your judgment, in your ability to navigate your own development. You stay motivated, paradoxically, because patience reduces burnout. Sustainable pace maintains energy. Realistic expectations prevent discouragement. When you're not exhausted and constantly feeling like you're failing, you stay motivated. You keep going. You maintain effort. Patience enables sustained motivation. You enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Because you're not just rushing to get somewhere. You're actually present in the process, noticing growth, appreciating progress, engaging with learning. The journey becomes meaningful, not just an obstacle to endure, but an experience to engage with. You help others better because you understand process. You have patience for others' pace. You don't pressure others to grow faster than they can. You understand that everyone is in their own process, and that understanding makes you better at supporting others, more patient, more compassionate, more helpful. You create lasting change, because rushed change doesn't stick. Forced transformation doesn't last. Pressured growth doesn't sustain. But patient, gradual, sustainable growth does. It integrates. It becomes part of you. It lasts because it's real, because it's deep, because it happened at the right pace. That's what patience creates. Real growth, less exhaustion, better decisions, less shame, self-trust, sustained motivation, enjoyment of journey, better support for others, lasting change. All of that becomes possible when you're patient with your process, when you give yourself time, when you release pressure, when you accept that growth is gradual, and that's okay. So be patient with yourself, with your process, with your pace, with your timeline. That's not lazy. That's wise. That's sustainable. That's what creates real, lasting, meaningful growth. Be patient. It's worth it. Tonight, as you lie here, carrying the weight of trying to fix everything immediately, I want you to practice something. I want you to practice patience with your process. Permission to take time. Release of pressure to have everything figured out right now. Take a breath. And as you exhale, imagine setting down the pressure, the weight of trying to fix everything, the burden of being responsible for everything. Just set it down for tonight. You can pick it back up tomorrow if you really want to. But tonight, set it down. Now say to yourself, I don't have to fix everything right now. I don't have to have all the answers today. I don't have to solve every problem immediately. I'm allowed to be in process. I'm allowed to take time. I'm allowed to grow gradually. Say it. Mean it. Give yourself that permission, that release, that grace. Now acknowledge where you are. I'm in process. I'm growing. I'm healing. I'm learning. I haven't arrived. I'm not finished. I'm still developing. And that's okay. That's normal. That's human. I'm in process, and that's acceptable. Accept where you are, in process, unfinished, still growing. That's okay. You're okay. Right here, right now, in process. Now recognize what you've been trying to control that isn't yours to control. What responsibility you've taken on that isn't actually yours. I've been trying to fix things that aren't mine to fix. I've been taking responsibility for things beyond my control. I release that. I focus on my part, my responsibility, my actual peace. That's enough. Release false responsibility. Focus on your actual part. That's enough. You're enough. Now give yourself time. I give myself time to grow, time to heal, time to change, time to learn. As much time as I need. Without pressure, without timeline, without rush. I grow at my own pace, and that's okay. That's good. That's right for me. Give yourself that time, that patience, that grace. You deserve it. Now offer yourself compassion. I'm being patient with myself. I'm being kind to myself. I'm being gentle with my own process. I'm not rushing myself. I'm not pressuring myself. I'm not being harsh with myself. I'm offering myself compassion, patience, kindness, because I deserve that, because that's what helps, because that's what I need. Feel that compassion, that patience, that kindness. Offer it to yourself, receive it, and finally, trust your process. I trust that I'm growing even when I can't see it. I trust that I'm healing even when it's slow. I trust that I'm changing even when it's gradual. I trust my process, my pace, my timeline. I trust that I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing, at exactly the right pace, in exactly the right way, for me. Trust yourself. Trust your process. Trust your pace. It's right. It's good. It's yours. Practice this. Tonight. Tomorrow. Every time you feel pressure to fix everything immediately. Every time you feel like you're not doing enough. Every time you judge your pace. Practice patience, permission, compassion, trust with yourself, with your process. You don't have to fix everything right now. You just have to be patient with your process. Take the time you need. Trust your pace. That's enough. You're enough. Right here. In process. Growing gradually. That's perfectly okay. Let me tell you what you need to believe. What's true even when pressure makes you doubt it. What remains real even when you feel like you're not doing enough. You are enough. Right now. In process. Unfinished. Still growing. You're enough. Not when you fix everything, not when you have all the answers, not when you're completely healed. Now, as you are, in process. You're enough. Growth takes time, as much time as it takes. There's no timeline, no schedule, no deadline for personal development. It takes as long as it takes. And that's okay. That's normal. That's how growth works. Give yourself that time. Without pressure. Without judgment. It takes as long as it takes. You're not responsible for everything. Only for your part. Your peace. Your choices. Your responses. Your growth. That's your responsibility. Not everything. Not everyone else's problems, not circumstances beyond your control. Just your part. And your part is manageable. Your part is enough. Progress doesn't have to be linear. Setbacks are normal. Regression is part of growth. Bad days don't erase progress. Messy is how real growth happens. You're not failing when progress is uneven. You're growing realistically. Messy growth is still growth. Accept the messiness. It's normal. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be finished. You don't have to have it all figured out. You're allowed to be in process. Allowed to be imperfect. Allowed to be still learning. Perfection isn't the standard. Progress is. And you're making progress. Even when it's slow. Even when it's messy. You're progressing. Self-compassion helps growth. Harshness hinders it. Being kind to yourself supports healing. Being critical slows it. Patience with yourself enables sustainable change. Pressure creates burnout. So choose compassion. Choose kindness. Choose patience. Not just because you deserve it, because it works, because it helps, because it's effective. You can trust your process. Your pace is right for you. Your timeline is appropriate. Your way of growing is valid. You don't have to grow like others grow. You don't have to heal at others' pace. You don't have to change on others' timeline. Your process is yours, and it's right. Trust it. Trust yourself. You're doing better than you think. You're further along than you feel. You're growing more than you realize. Progress is happening even when you can't see it. Growth is occurring even when it's invisible. You're doing better than you think. Believe that. Trust that. Know that. You will get there. Not immediately, not overnight, but eventually. You'll grow. You'll heal. You'll change. You'll figure things out. You'll get there. At your own pace. In your own way. On your own timeline. You'll get there. Trust that. Believe that. Hold on to that. These truths. Remember them, especially when pressure makes you doubt. When you feel like you're not doing enough. When you judge your pace. These truths remain. You're enough. Growth takes time. You're not responsible for everything. Messy progress is still progress. You don't have to be perfect. Compassion helps. Trust your process. You're doing better than you think. You'll get there. Hold these truths. Believe these truths. Live from these truths. They're real. They're solid. They're what you build on. These truths. Trust them. Let me tell you something you need to hear. You're making more progress than you realize. You really are. You're growing. You're changing. You're developing. Even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when you can't see it. Even when it seems like nothing is happening. Progress isn't always visible. Growth doesn't always feel like growth. Change doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes you're developing internally before anything shows externally. Sometimes you're healing beneath the surface before you see evidence on the surface. Sometimes you're transforming in ways you won't recognize until later. So, just because you can't see dramatic change doesn't mean change isn't happening. Just because you don't feel completely different doesn't mean you're not different. Just because progress seems slow doesn't mean it's not real. Look back. Not at yesterday or last week. Look back months. Look back a year. Look back several years. Who were you then? What were you struggling with? What did you not understand? What couldn't you do? And now? Who are you now? What have you learned? What can you do now that you couldn't then? How have you grown? What do you understand now that you didn't before? That's progress. That's growth. That's change. Real, meaningful, significant change. Just gradual. Just over time. Just not as immediately visible as you want. But it's there. You're different than you were. You know more. You can handle more. You understand more. You're more capable, more resilient, more developed. That's real progress. That's genuine growth. And it happened gradually, over time, through patient, consistent process. That's how it works. So stop underestimating your progress. Stop thinking you're not growing because you're not yet fully grown. Stop believing you're not changing because you're not yet completely changed. You're in process, and process is progress. Being in the middle of growth is evidence of growth, not evidence against it. Trust your progress, even when you can't see it. Believe in your growth, even when it feels slow. Recognize your development, even when it seems gradual. You're moving forward. You're changing. You're growing. Maybe slowly, maybe gradually, but really, truly, meaningfully. So acknowledge it, appreciate it, celebrate it. Not I've arrived, but I'm moving forward. I'm making progress. I'm growing. That's enough. That's real. That's worth recognizing. You're doing better than you think. You're further along than you realize. You're making more progress than you acknowledge. So acknowledge it. Appreciate it. Believe it. You're growing. Trust that. Even when it's hard to see, you're growing. Let's talk about comparison, about how you measure your progress against other people's progress, how you look at where they are and feel behind, how you compare your timeline to their timeline and feel slow, how you measure your growth against their growth and feel inadequate. Stop. Comparison is killing your patience with your own process. It's making you feel behind when you're not, making you feel slow when you're not, making you feel inadequate when you're not. Everyone's process is different. Everyone's timeline is different. Everyone's pace is different. What takes someone else 6 months might take you 2 years. What comes easily to them might be difficult for you. What they figured out quickly, you might need time to understand. That doesn't mean you're behind. That doesn't mean you're slow. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're different. Different person. Different circumstances. Different challenges. Different process. You can't compare timelines. You can't measure your month 3 against someone else's month 3 and determine anything meaningful. Because you don't know what they were dealing with. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know what resources they had. You don't know what background they came from. You only know what you see. And what you see is often their highlight reel, their best moments, their successes, not their struggles, not their setbacks, not their difficult days, just their progress, which makes your progress look inadequate in comparison. But that comparison isn't fair. It's not accurate. It's not realistic. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. Your whole messy process to their edited successes. Your internal struggle to their external presentation. That's not real comparison. That's comparing incomparable things. And it's making you feel inadequate when you're not. Making you feel behind when you're not. Making you feel slow when you're actually growing at exactly the pace you need to be growing. So stop comparing. Stop measuring yourself against others. Stop using their timeline as a measure of your timeline. Stop judging your progress by their progress. Your process is yours. Your timeline is yours. Your pace is yours. It's right for you, even if it's different from theirs. It's appropriate for you, even if it's slower. It's exactly what you need, even if it doesn't look like theirs. Focus on your own process, your own growth, your own progress, not anyone else's. just yours. Where you were, where you are, where you're going, that's what matters. Not how that compares to anyone else. Just your own journey, your own growth, your own development. That's enough. That's what you measure. Not you against them. Just you against your former self. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you developing? Yes? Then you're doing exactly what you should be doing. At exactly the right pace. On exactly the right timeline. For you. So stop comparing. Start focusing on your own process. Trust your own pace. Believe in your own timeline. It's right for you. It's enough. It's exactly what you need. I want to talk about self-compassion during this process, about how you speak to yourself while you're growing, about the voice in your head that comments on your progress or lack of progress, about whether that voice is patient and kind or harsh and critical. Because here's what I'm guessing. That voice is probably harsh. It probably says things like, "You should be further along by now. You should have figured this out already. You're taking too long. You're not trying hard enough. You're failing at this. What's wrong with you?" That harsh voice, it's making everything harder. It's adding shame to process, adding pressure to growth, adding criticism to learning. And none of that helps. None of that speeds things up. None of that makes growth easier or faster. In fact, harshness slows things down. Shame blocks progress. Criticism creates resistance. Pressure creates anxiety, which impairs learning. So that harsh voice, it's actually preventing the very thing it's demanding: faster progress. You need a different voice. A compassionate voice. A patient voice. A kind voice. A voice that says, "You're doing your best. You're making progress. You're growing at exactly the pace you need to grow. This is hard, and you're handling it. You're learning, and learning takes time. You're worthy of patience." That voice, that compassionate voice, it creates safety. Safety creates openness. Openness enables learning. Learning creates growth. So compassion actually facilitates the progress that harshness demands, but prevents. So change the voice. Practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself with kindness, with patience, with understanding, with the same gentleness you'd offer someone you love who's struggling with something difficult. You wouldn't say to them, "You should be better at this by now. What's wrong with you?" You'd say, "This is hard. You're doing your best. I'm proud of you for trying. Take your time. You'll get there." Say that to yourself. Offer yourself that same compassion, that same patience, that same kindness. You deserve it, and it will help. It will actually speed your progress because it creates the conditions for growth instead of conditions that resist growth. So every time that harsh voice speaks, interrupt it. Replace it with compassion. I'm doing my best. I'm making progress. I'm growing at my own pace. This takes time, and that's okay. I'm worthy of patience and kindness, especially from myself. Feel the difference. Notice how compassion feels versus harshness. Notice how kindness opens you versus how criticism closes you. Notice how patience creates space for growth versus how pressure creates resistance. Choose compassion. Choose patience. Choose kindness. Not just because it's nice, because it works, because it creates conditions for actual growth, because it facilitates the progress you want. So be compassionate with yourself, patient with your process, kind in your self-talk. That's not indulgence. That's not letting yourself off the hook. That's creating conditions for real, sustainable, healthy growth. That's what you need. That's what helps. That's what works. Here's something you need to understand. Some things can't be rushed. Not because you're not trying hard enough, not because you're doing something wrong, but because they have their own timeline, their own pace, their own process that can't be accelerated, no matter how much you want it to be. Grief, for example. You can't rush grief. You can't force yourself to be done grieving before the grief is done. You can't skip steps or hurry through stages, or decide you've grieved enough so now you're done. Grief has its own timeline, and rushing it just prolongs it. Trust, for another example. Rebuilding trust after it's been broken, that takes time. You can't force yourself to trust again before you're ready. You can't rush the process of feeling safe again. Trust rebuilds gradually, through consistent experience over time. You can't hurry it. Healing from trauma, learning new skills, building new habits, changing ingrained patterns, developing emotional maturity, processing difficult experiences. All of these have their own timelines, their own pace, their own process that can't be rushed. You can engage in the process. You can show up for the work. You can be consistent. You can be intentional. But you can't control the pace. You can't force faster results. You can't rush what has its own inherent timeline. And that's frustrating. I know. You want to be done. You want to be healed. You want to be changed. You want to be developed. Now. Immediately. As fast as possible. But wanting it doesn't make it happen faster. Demanding it doesn't accelerate the process. Getting frustrated with the pace doesn't speed things up. If anything, Resistance to the natural pace slows things down. So you have to accept the pace. Accept that some things take as long as they take. Accept that you can't control the speed. Accept that your job is to engage in the process, not to control the timeline. Do the work. Show up consistently. Be intentional. Be patient. Trust the process, even when it feels slow, especially when it feels slow. Because slow is often the actual pace. Not wrong, not evidence you're failing. Just the real, natural, appropriate pace for that particular process. So stop trying to rush what can't be rushed. Stop demanding faster results from processes that have their own timeline. Stop being frustrated with natural pace. Just engage in the process. Show up. Do the work. And trust that things are unfolding at exactly the pace they need to unfold. Your job is to participate, not to control. To engage, not to rush. To show up consistently, not to force faster results. Just participate in your process at whatever pace it unfolds. That's enough. That's what's actually required. That's what actually works. So accept the pace. Trust the timeline. Be patient with process. And keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Keep engaging. Without trying to rush. Without demanding faster. Just steady, patient, consistent engagement. That's what creates real change. Not rushing, patient engagement. Let me tell you about what happens when you stop trying to fix everything immediately. When you release that pressure. When you accept being in process. When you become patient with your own growth. First, you breathe easier. Literally. That pressure, that weight, that constant anxiety about fixing everything. It creates tension, physical tension, emotional tension. When you release it, you can breathe. Your body relaxes. The constant vigilance eases. You can rest. Second, you have energy for what actually matters. When you're not exhausting yourself trying to fix everything immediately, you have energy for the things you can actually affect. The realistic steps, the gradual progress, the sustainable pace. You can focus that energy on real, meaningful growth instead of wasting it on impossible pressure. Third, you make better decisions. Pressure creates reactive decisions. Anxiety creates impulsive choices. Desperation creates poor judgment. But patience creates space. Space creates clarity. Clarity enables wise decisions. So releasing pressure actually improves your decision-making, which improves your actual progress. Fourth, You enjoy the journey. When you're constantly pressuring yourself to be finished, you can't appreciate being in process. You can't enjoy learning. You can't find satisfaction in small steps. But when you accept process, when you become patient, you can actually find joy in growth, satisfaction in learning, appreciation for progress. The journey becomes meaningful, not just the destination. Fifth, relationships improve. That pressure to fix everything, it doesn't stay contained. It spills over. You try to fix other people, fix situations, control outcomes. That strains relationships. But when you release that pressure, when you accept your own process, you're more able to let others have their process too. That creates healthier relationships, more space, less control, more acceptance. Sixth, had actually grow more sustainably. Rushed growth doesn't last. Pressured change doesn't stick. Forced transformation creates backlash. But patient, gradual, sustainable growth, that lasts. That sticks. That creates real, lasting change. So paradoxically, being patient with process actually creates better results than rushing. Seventh, you develop self-trust. When you honor your pace, when you respect your process, when you're patient with your timeline, you're showing yourself that you trust yourself, that you believe in your capacity to grow at your own pace. That builds self-trust, confidence, self-respect. That's foundational. That's essential. Eighth, anxiety decreases. So much anxiety comes from that pressure to fix everything immediately, from the sense that you're responsible for everything, from the belief that you should be further along. When you release that pressure, when you accept process, anxiety decreases, peace increases, calm becomes possible. This is what's available when you stop trying to fix everything right now, when you become patient with your process, when you accept being in growth. Peace, energy, clarity, joy, better relationships, sustainable growth, self-trust, decreased anxiety. That's worth choosing, worth practicing, worth believing. So choose patience, release pressure, accept process, and experience what becomes possible. It's real. It's available. It's what you deserve. Tonight, let's talk about trust. About trusting yourself. About trusting your process. About trusting that you're growing even when you can't see it. About trusting that your pace is right even when it feels slow. about trusting that you're exactly where you need to be, even when you wish you were further along. This requires faith, not religious faith necessarily, but faith in yourself, faith in process, faith that growth happens even when invisible, faith that time is working for you, not against you, faith that patience will be rewarded. And that's hard, especially when you can't see results, especially when progress feels slow, especially when you feel like you're not moving forward. In those moments, trust is difficult. Faith is hard. Believing feels impossible. But that's exactly when you need it most. When evidence is scarce. When progress is invisible. When change feels absent. That's when trust matters. That's when faith is essential. That's when you need to believe in process despite not seeing results. So how do you build that trust? You remember past growth. Think back to something you struggled with before, something that felt impossible, something you didn't think you could grow through, and yet you did, somehow, over time. You grew, you changed, you developed. That's evidence. Evidence that growth happens. Evidence that process works. Evidence that time and patience create change. You've done it before. You can do it again. Trust that. Also, you recognize small signs. Look for subtle shifts, small changes, tiny progress. Not dramatic transformation, but small evidence that things are moving, that you're growing, that process is happening. Maybe you handled something slightly better than before. Maybe you noticed something you wouldn't have noticed before. Maybe you chose differently than you would have before. These are signs, evidence of growth. Trust them. And you practice patience as trust. Every time you choose patience over pressure, you're trusting. Trusting that growth happens at its own pace. Trusting that forcing doesn't help. Trusting that time and process work. Every time you accept being in process instead of demanding being finished, you're trusting. Trusting that process is valuable. Trusting that being unfinished is okay. Trusting that growth is happening even in the middle. Every time you release pressure to fix everything immediately, you're trusting. Trusting that gradual is effective. Trusting that sustainable matters more than fast. Trusting that patient process creates lasting change. So, trust is built through practice, through choosing patience, through accepting process, through believing in gradual growth, through remembering past growth, through noticing small changes, through faith that process works even when you can't see it. Build that trust. Practice that faith. Choose that patience. It's essential. It's what sustains you through slow growth, through invisible progress. through times when change feels absent. Trust carries you through. Faith sustains you. Patience enables sustainable growth. So trust yourself. Trust your process. Trust your pace. Trust your timeline. Trust that you're growing. Trust that patience works. Trust that process matters. Trust, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Trust. That's what you need. That's what works. That's what enables real growth. I want to address something specific. The voice that says, "But I've been working on this for so long and nothing has changed. How much longer do I have to be patient?" When does patience become enabling? When do I admit this isn't working? These are fair questions, valid concerns. Because yes, patience can become avoidance. Yes, accepting process can become excusing lack of effort. Yes, being gentle can become being passive. So there's a balance between patience and passivity, between accepting process and avoiding responsibility, between gentle self-compassion and letting yourself off the hook. Here's how you know the difference. Ask yourself, am I engaged in the process? Am I showing up? Am I doing the work? Am I taking steps, even small ones? Am I being consistent, even when progress is slow? If yes, then you're being patient with process, not passive. You're accepting that growth takes time while still doing your part. You're being gentle with yourself while still showing up. That's healthy patience. But if you're using patience as an excuse to not engage, to not show up, to not do the work, then that's not patience. That's avoidance. That's not accepting process. That's avoiding responsibility. Healthy patience is active. It's engaged. It's, I'm doing my part and trusting that growth takes time. It's, I'm showing up consistently and being patient with gradual progress. It's, I'm working on this and accepting that results take time. Unhealthy patience is passive. It's disengaged. It's, I'm waiting for things to magically get better without doing anything. It's, I'm excusing lack of effort with claims of patience. It's, I'm avoiding responsibility by claiming to accept process. So be honest with yourself. Are you doing your part? Are you engaged? Are you showing up? If yes, be patient. Trust process. Accept that growth takes time. You're doing what you can. Results will come. Keep doing your part. Keep being patient. But if you're not doing your part, if you're being passive, if you're avoiding responsibility, then patience isn't what you need. Engagement is. Action is. Showing up is. Don't excuse inaction with claims of patience. That's not patience. That's avoidance. Real patience is patient action, sustained engagement, consistent showing up. Not demanding immediate results, but definitely putting in consistent effort. Trusting that effort over time creates change. Being patient with timing while being consistent with action. So ask yourself honestly, am I engaged? Am I doing my part? If yes, be patient. If no, engage more. Simple as that. Patience with engagement is healthy. Patience without engagement is avoidance. Know the difference. Be honest about which one you're doing. Adjust accordingly. You need both. Engagement and patience. Action and trust. Showing up and accepting that results take time. Both. Not one or the other. Both. That's the balance. That's what works. That's what creates real, sustainable change. Let's talk about what you can control and what you can't. Because much of this pressure, this need to fix everything immediately, comes from trying to control things that aren't actually controllable. You can control your effort, your choices, your responses, your attitude, your focus, your consistency, your willingness to learn, your engagement in process, your showing up, your trying. These are yours. These are within your control. These you can affect. These you can change. These you can commit to. These are your responsibility. You cannot control the pace of results, other people's choices, other people's responses, circumstances beyond your influence, outcomes, timing, how long things take, what other people do, external circumstances, situations you didn't create. These are not yours. These are not within your control. These you cannot affect through effort or willpower or trying harder. These are not your responsibility to control. And this matters. This distinction matters. Because you're probably exhausting yourself trying to control the uncontrollable, trying to force faster results, trying to change other people, trying to control outcomes, trying to determine timing, trying to fix circumstances beyond your control. And it's not working. Because you can't control those things, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much pressure you put on yourself, no matter how responsible you feel for them. You can't control them. So you're exhausting yourself trying to do the impossible, and then feeling like you're failing when you can't do it. But you're not failing. You're just trying to control what's not controllable. So you need to refocus on what you can control. Your part, your effort, your choices, your responses, your engagement, your consistency. That's what you focus on. That's what you commit to. That's what you take responsibility for. And release the rest. Release trying to control pace. Release trying to control outcomes. Release trying to control other people. Release trying to control timing. Release trying to control circumstances. You can't control these things, so stop trying. Stop exhausting yourself trying. Focus on what you can control. Do that part well. Do that part consistently. That's your responsibility. That's what's actually possible. That's what you can commit to. And trust that when you do your part well, when you control what's controllable, outcomes tend to work out. Maybe not immediately, maybe not exactly as you imagined, but they work out over time, through process, through your consistent engagement with what you can actually control. So let go of the uncontrollable. Stop trying to force. Stop pressuring yourself about things beyond your control. Focus on your part. Do that well, consistently. That's enough. That's what's actually required. That's what actually works. Control what's controllable. Release what's not. Simple distinction. Profound impact. Life-changing when you actually practice it. So practice it. Know the difference. Focus on your part. Release the rest. That's wisdom. That's peace. That's sustainable effectiveness. I want to talk about celebrating small progress, about recognizing small wins, about acknowledging incremental growth. Because if you're only celebrating big achievements, if you're only recognizing major milestones, if you're only acknowledging dramatic transformation, you're missing most of your actual growth. Growth happens in small increments, tiny steps, small shifts, subtle changes. That's how it actually happens, not in dramatic leaps, not in sudden transformations, but in small, consistent, incremental progress. So if you're not celebrating small progress, you're not celebrating most of your actual growth. You're waiting for big moments that rarely come, missing the real progress that happens constantly in small ways. Start celebrating small wins. Did you handle something slightly better today than you would have last month? Celebrate that. Did you notice something you wouldn't have noticed before? Acknowledge that. Did you make a small choice that reflects growth? Recognize that. These matter. These are evidence of growth. These are proof of progress. These are signs that your process is working. Small? Yes. But real. True. Meaningful. And celebrating them does something important. It reinforces progress, tells your brain this is good, this matters, this is worth noting. That creates momentum, motivation, continued engagement. But if you dismiss small progress as not enough, if you only acknowledge big achievements, you're sending a different message. Nothing counts until it's major. Small steps don't matter. Only dramatic change is real. That's discouraging, demotivating. That makes you want to give up. So celebrate small wins. Not fake enthusiasm for things that don't matter, but genuine appreciation for real, small, meaningful progress. That's wisdom. That's recognizing how growth actually works. That's honoring your process. Notice what's better than before. What you can do now that you couldn't then. What you understand now that you didn't before. What you handle better now. These are wins. Small wins. Real wins. Worth celebrating. Say to yourself, that was progress. Small, yes, but real. That's evidence of growth. I'm moving forward. I'm developing. This small step matters. Feel that appreciation, that recognition, that celebration of small progress. This isn't about being satisfied with mediocrity. It's about recognizing that excellence is built through countless small improvements, that mastery comes through accumulation of small wins, that dramatic transformation is actually the result of many small, incremental changes. So honor the small. Celebrate the incremental. Recognize the subtle. That's where real growth lives. That's how change actually happens. In small steps. Consistently. Over time. So celebrate them. Each one. Small wins. Real progress. Meaningful growth. That's how you build momentum. How you maintain motivation. How you sustain engagement in long-term process. Celebrate small wins. They matter. They're real. They're worth acknowledging. Let's talk about what's on the other side of this patient process. What becomes possible when you stop trying to fix everything immediately? When you accept gradual growth? When you become patient with yourself? What's waiting for you there? Freedom from constant pressure, from overwhelming responsibility, from exhausting attempts to control everything. Freedom to just be in process, to grow at your own pace, to take the time you need. That's liberation. That's peace. That's sustainable. Sustainable growth. Not rushed change that doesn't last. Not forced transformation that creates backlash, but real, deep, lasting growth. The kind that sticks. The kind that becomes integrated into who you are. The kind that doesn't require constant maintenance to sustain. That's what patient process creates. Self-trust. Because you learned to trust yourself, to trust your pace, to trust your process, to trust that you can grow without forcing, without pressuring, without constantly criticizing yourself. You learned that you're trustworthy, that your process works, that your pace is right, that self-trust is foundational. Wisdom about how growth works, about how change happens, about what's controllable and what's not, about what takes time and what can be immediate, about yourself, your process, your needs, your pace. You developed wisdom through patient engagement with process. That wisdom serves you for life. Resilience, not the kind that comes from toughening up, but the kind that comes from patient persistence, from continuing to show up even when progress is slow, from maintaining engagement even when results aren't visible, from trusting process even through difficulty. That's real resilience, lasting resilience. Peace with yourself, with your pace, with your process, with being unfinished, with being in growth, with not having all the answers, with taking time. Peace that comes from releasing pressure, from accepting reality, from working with yourself instead of against yourself. That peace is profound. Better relationships. Because you learned patience with yourself, you have patience with others. Because you learn to accept your own process, you can accept others' process. Because you stopped trying to control your own timeline, you can stop trying to control others' timelines. That creates healthier relationships, more space, more acceptance, more love. Actual achievement. Eventually. Because patient process works. Gradual growth accumulates. Consistent effort compounds. Time and patience create results. Maybe not on your preferred timeline, but truly, really, lastingly, you achieve what you're working toward. Through patience, through process, through time. This is what's possible, what's waiting, what becomes available when you practice patience with your process. When you stop trying to fix everything immediately. When you accept gradual growth. All of this, freedom, sustainable growth, self-trust, wisdom, resilience, peace, better relationships, real achievement that's worth the patience, worth the process, worth the gradual pace. All of this is available to you through patient engagement with your own growth. So choose it, practice it, trust it. What's waiting is worth it. And now, as we close, as you prepare to rest, I want you to release something. Release the pressure to fix everything right now. Release the weight of trying to have all the answers. Release the burden of being responsible for everything. just set it down, even just for tonight. Take a breath, a deep, releasing breath. And as you exhale, imagine that pressure leaving your body, that weight lifting, that burden releasing. Just for now, just for tonight. Let yourself rest from it. Say to yourself, gently, compassionately, I don't have to fix everything right now. I don't have to have all the answers today. I don't have to be completely healed or fully developed or entirely changed. I'm allowed to be in process. I'm allowed to be growing. I'm allowed to take time. Feel that permission, that release, that freedom from constant pressure. Let yourself have it. Let yourself rest in it. I'm growing, maybe slowly, maybe gradually, but really, truly, I'm making progress even when I can't see it. I'm developing even when it's not visible. I'm changing even when it doesn't feel dramatic. I trust that. I believe that. I'm patient with that. Trust your process, even when it feels slow, even when progress isn't visible, even when you wish you were further along. Trust that growth is happening. Trust that time is working for you. Trust that patience will be rewarded. I'm doing my part. I'm showing up. I'm being consistent. I'm engaged in my process. That's enough. That's what's actually required. I don't have to control the pace or force the outcomes or rush the timeline. I just have to keep doing my part. And I am. That's enough. Know that's true. Believe that's enough. Rest in that knowing. You're doing what you can. That's sufficient. That's what creates real growth. I'm being patient with myself, gentle with my process, compassionate about my pace. I'm speaking to myself kindly, treating myself gently, offering myself the same patience I'd offer someone I love, because I deserve that. I'm worthy of that patience, especially from myself. Give yourself that gentleness, that patience, that compassion. You deserve it. You need it. It helps. I'm exactly where I need to be, right now, in this moment, in process, unfinished, still growing. And that's okay. That's good. That's right. I'm not behind. I'm not slow. I'm not failing. I'm growing at my own pace. And my pace is right for me. Believe that. Know that. Rest in that truth. Your pace is right. Your process is working. You're exactly where you need to be. So rest tonight. Rest in patience. Rest in process. Rest in the knowing that you don't have to fix everything right now. You just have to keep growing. Gradually, patiently, at your own pace. You're doing beautifully. You're making progress. You're exactly where you need to be. Trust that. Rest in that. Be patient with that. Good night. Grow gently. Trust your process. You're doing enough. You're growing well. You're exactly right. Rest easy.